Let's see, do we have audio now? Ah, much better. Thank you, Windows Updates, for messing with my sound setting. Popping back in and doing more recording on this character, going through the Before the Shadow quests. And I remember from last session that I've been bad about spending trait points. So Redline Champion, even though I can start getting things like Strong Arm Swings, which just is flat damage increase for the strike skills, this entire line here of Vicious Strikes into Deadly Strikes to Deep Strikes is just too good not to power through as kind of almost as quickly as you can, because that's increased crit chance, increased crit multiplier, to your crits now bleed on all your strike skills, and just about everything that you're going to do as a Redline champ are going to be your strike skills. Those are the single target skills: Swift Strike, Devastating Strike, Remorseless Strike, things like that. Your AoE skills, which is what Yellow Line uses a lot of, are blade skills, but we're not doing those here. And okay, my traits on this character still suck because I have not been good about doing my various deeds. Now let's see, what do we have? I did Brigands, and that's kind of about it. So I'm going to have to make sure to actually start doing those. The other characters that I've been playing, where I've been prepping them for the streaming groups, I've been much better about doing the deeds, because those are characters where I'm earning and tracking the points, because I'm not using crafted or passed on gear. But this character, I've been really slacking. Okay, so I should be looking for Maneldir, because we're going to go follow him back to the captive. Yep, he's still there. This is the Uruk that we captured and brought back, because we're trying to figure out what's going on with orcs and Uruks being in the area here where they're not supposed to be.
And quickly. Lead on, Flam. Where does your friend hold captive this Uruk?
Alright, so of course we have to go find Uruk and whoever's keeping him captive. Many joys of following an NPC. At least he doesn't move at Sarah Oakhart speed. Wait, which probably means that we're going to get ambushed, or something has gone horribly wrong up ahead. Really only two things. And those big crits and big hits like that are why we go red. I think technically Yellow Line is still more efficient and more damaging overall for champions, but Red Line is just so much fun. Kill one thing at a time and kill you really dead. Okay, here's his buddy and the captive Uruk. Yes, we saw the big boars run through, and we took care of them. Uruk is waking up and making threats even though he's tied up. Gotta love any quest objective that is remain alert. Can't possibly mean something's gonna happen. Yeah, he's saying that his Uruks want to move in because there's plenty of things to eat in this valley. Couldn't mean hobbits. Alright, and now the crazy butcher's going to try and kill him. Always love it when NPC says something, not someone, is approaching. And this probably should be... Yep. Kill off the rescue attempt. And predictably, the Uruk captive is dying. Because there has to be some way, story-wise, to get him out of the picture. Yeah, of course they weren't here to rescue him. They were here to try and kill him before he talked. This changes nothing. You'll die screaming, etc., etc. Typical orc nonsense. But we learned a name. Oh, yep, and Manildir absolutely picked up on that too. It's always kind of nice when they don't make the NPCs just pig stupid. And of course we have to tie the Uruks into Saruman just in case we'd forgotten. Saruman? Why would he speak the name of the White Wizard? What did he mean by that? Manildir hasn't read the books or watched the movies.
Thank you for aiding my folk. It reflects well upon you and upon me.
Don't know how it reflects well upon you, but we're just gonna let that one go. We have better gear already, so just take the one that's gonna sell for the most money.
Why does your ranger friend just stand there, like a lump on a log?
Okay, so this is gonna give us gear and some virtue experience, so that's good. Let's make sure I have a virtue slot. Okay, good. So I'm gonna start in on zeal next, which is gonna give us... Let's actually go with wit as our next, because that's finesse, crit, and mastery. I like things that give the raw core stats, like this one gives might, and might does give me a lot of different effects, but everything that gives the secondary stats directly just tends to give them at so much quicker of a rate.
I cannot believe this.
Is it true that Saruman commanded these Oryx to attack the folk of Swanfleet? Well, yes. Yes, everybody else knows this. You are just catching up. Okay, so now we're going to go back to Mossward. Do I have anything else nearby here? Yeah, I've got a talk to somebody here, so we'll do that before heading back to But I'm going to try and stop picking up side quests quite so much so I can do the main quests some more. And that gives me level 13, which gives me the nudge quest of Destination Breeland, but the Before the Shadow stuff should basically take me all the way from 1 to 32, so we're just not going to do going to keep putting traits into that 3-part trait line there. And we have this to turn in here. And she wants me to go to the banks of the river. Okay, yeah, we're gonna leave that alone for the moment because it's a green quest anyway. Let's find where the stables are in this town. Right up here, yes.
How do you do?
So back to Mossword, and I have a bit of money, so I don't care about popping for swift travel. I'm happy to do that. Okay, gonna come back to Wenna, and I believe that she is gonna talking about Geralt's lost boot.
What a beautiful gift!
They gave her the boot with a flower in it, so turning his boot into a planter to help keep him from having to go back to fighting and leaving his family behind. Almost like he's being a good dude.
You have been such a help to our family.
Ah, that's why it's not tracking, because it's already gone gray. I just took so long to do it. But gonna find him anyway, because I'm betting there's probably a quests in the area wrapper quest. That's always a good sign. Townsfolk gathering.
How did it go? Did you manage to get rid of that boot?
Yes, we turned the boot into a planter. There's no way she's going to try and send you back out. And yeah, your anniversary is here, dude. You need to do something about that. Oh, wow. So, right off the bat, like, this is a quest that's so low level, it's gray to me. But it's giving me an earring item that when you do other prologue quests or other intro quests, when you tend to get your first pieces of jewelry, they're like 2 of a stat. This one here is item level 6, and it's 5 might, 4 vitality, 3 fate, and then 2 secondary stats of 13 crit and 19 physical mitigation. So that is a big jump in overall power compared to the kind of paltry starting gear that you would get previous. But I think they recognized that the early game gear and kind of the SOA zones and quests, the Shadows of Om stuff, the original game content is kind of lacking at this point with how they've done itemization for areas past that. So they're really doing the kind of new take on rewards and items and stats here, which is actually interesting to see. Okay, so we're going to talk to Dogen here. apparently is rallying the town to defend
We
itself.
won't be caught off guard again.
So somebody is actually paying attention. And he wants us to pick up a barrel of swords inside the blacksmith shop and hand them out to the people. Arm the townsfolk. Don't mind me. I'm sure that you don't mind me coming in and picking up a barrel of swords from your shop. Just, it's cool. Apparently I'm not handing them out. I'm just putting them down for people to come grab from. It's cool. Alright, so he's going to tell me about the 3 different wizards. So I'm wondering what they're actually going to tell us here about kind of the core 3 story wizards that we know about in Middle-earth, because there are the other wizards that kind of get hinted at a little bit, but I know unless you go into kind of the supplemental material, really primarily what you've got in the core stories, you've got Saruman, Gandalf, and Radagast. Really the only people who get well, in the books I don't think you can call it screen time, but it's screen time. So we'll start with Radagast. Unsurprisingly, the only one that Manildir has actually met. Wanders the wild places, seems jovial. Can't believe he turned against us. And let's hear about Saruman. Most learned, greatest of the order, lives in Isengard. Can it be that he no longer seeks to protect the free people of Middle-earth? I mean, spoilers. And then Gandalf. Walks with the native of an old walking stick, pipe smoke curling about his hat. A former chieftain Strider knew him and believed him to be a kindly soul, so this is again tying Manildir into the kind of larger Ranger storyline that runs through a lot of the existing game and its various expansions. Okay. One, we'll take the chainmail because it's going to sell for the most. Okay, we're being observed. I go talk to Tegwin, who is the kid who is watching us from back here. I didn't hear anything I wasn't supposed to hear. Yeah, right. So we're basically telling him to go bolster the spirits of the people in town. Shoo, kid, make yourself useful. Okay, so this is going to basically send me out of town and look for signs of the Uruks along the road. So let us get the heck out of Dodge. Get any gear that I care about, because I've already given this character better gear. And I think that's going to be... well, let's just ride out of town and we'll find it. Let's see, where the road enters Swanfleet from the Enedwaith. I mean, I would assume that that's over here by Tharbad. Even though it's not marked on the map as a specific location, that's where I'm gonna head. And it might be that that's where, I'm pretty sure that's where that kind of orc fortress and the broken bridge was that I ran through when I was exploring before. So that's actually kind of cool that it didn't just explicitly mark that on the map, but it gave instructions for here's where you're going to be going. And I have got to start being better about this, so I'm going to look at what Slayer deeds are actually in this zone. So, Warg Slayer and Uruk Slayer, the ones that I'm currently doing. Oh, interesting. So Swanfleet only has 4 Slayer deeds. 3 Slayer deeds. Wow. So Brigand I've already done, Warg Slayers, and Uruk Slayers. So, keep an eye out for Wargs and Uruks, and I'm pretty sure that I just want to head this way. Because this area here does look like it is where the river enters the area. And I know I found Uruks there, so I think 2 + 2 equals that's where we should be going. And I'll be really interested to see if I get a map marker that changes, like as far as an indicator when I get closer over there, or if it's just going to be a discovery point. Right now, my quest marker keeps showing that the closest thing is Intro to Crafting. Here I'm heading into Tharbad. I think we found bad stuff before. I, of course, also may be completely wrong about what I'm looking for. I've got to be, because these are level 16s and this is a great quest, so find a spot here and actually take a better look at this. So the road runs northeast past Mossward and on to Endwaith. And I, of course, went northwest. So he must mean this little area here towards Langarin, even though the area by Tharbad is where the river technically enters Swanfleet. He might mean this marshy area here south of the Wade One. So that might actually be what he's talking about. So I think I outsmarted myself by thinking too much about where the river actually enters the zone. And those aren't Uruks, so they wouldn't count for anything useful anyway. Back this way I go. Oh well, got to see some scenery. So one thing that I do definitely notice, oh, hey, there's an orc down there. I'm I'm going to kill that guy because I want to keep this deed rolling. And I took my mount off my bar rather than dismounting because I'm an idiot. Let me just get back up onto its high spot. One thing I have noticed in these zones, and I was actually watching a video earlier today by Bright Life Gaming, and he pointed out the same thing, is that in the Swan Fleet and Cardland and kind of all of these new zones here, they have really made the effort to point out and kind of highlight, check out the stuff we've been able to do with draw distance and the landscape, and making these vistas like this where you can just see in the distance. Because the direction I'm looking right now, I can see that this is all the way, I just keep going north and north and north. That's basically heading through the swamps, and then ultimately this links up with the Lone Lands now. But they're definitely doing a thing where they're putting a lot more kind of emphasis on having these long draw distance vista points where because with the DX11 and just, you know, little bits of improvement they've been able to make with the engine with duct tape and baling wire, they can do these long distance scenery shots like this, and I love to see them taking advantage of it. Sit here and gather everything on the way there because I'm terrible. This is why I have no inventory space on any of my characters. Okay, back up the road in the way he was trying to tell me to go. But I was stubborn and didn't read. I just read the general directions. We head northeast. Brigands that I don't care about because you're gray and I already did both Brigand Slayer deeds. And yeah, I think we're going the right way now. But I will break for works. And stop at another nice vista point. I mean, this just looks so much nicer than almost any other game, or almost any other zone in the game. Say, some of the areas in Gundabad look visually as nice as this, but they're not these nice, bright, open landscapes like this. It's areas down in a dwarven city, which are amazing in their own right, but they don't have the same impact as, hey, look at this vast, open vistas of the landscape. This is just really impressive compared to what this game was when I started playing. There's also a reason why this character is going to take forever to get through this content. I keep stopping and nattering on about landscapes. So that waterfall there might be what they're considering the river entering the area. Oh, that's cool. Got some nice old ruined statuary there. I'm looking for signs of Uruks. Well, I mean, I see an Uruk. That count? I wonder if I have to find a camp of them or something. It's this way. Oh, that's the road. It's probably further along this way. Don't mind me, Mr. Wolf. Just out for a ride. Okay, so now my quest directional marker has picked up and is showing that I'm headed towards the objective for this quest. So I am heading to the right place. I just was completely looking at it wrong. Shock and amazement, I know. What is over here? That's a different landscape type. And it looks like it is leading into someplace called Blood Hollow, so that's cheery. That's over where Aluna was, who I need to go rescue. Hunter with her 3 apprentices who are all kind of idiots. So definitely coming back to that soon. But I'm gonna kill some Uruks first. Mostly I just want to keep up on the book quest before it goes gray, as well as keeping up on my Uruk Slayer deed. So that I can do that Slayer deed as well as the Slayer meta deed. So here we go. Dead Uruks, best kind. Uruk was slain by a sword much like the one he carried. They kill each other? Okay, I've collected all the swords, so it wants me to bring them back to Mossward, but I'll bet might be some more Uruks up this way. And this just kind of looks like something up here. Or it might just be a transition into another area. Good wolf, don't attack. Okay, so this just leads me into Enidwaith. That actually makes me curious. Where in Enidwaith is this going to connect to? So I'm going to detour here real quick. Because we've been seeing all of these, like, Enidwaith, you know, architecture ruins and this Enidwaith road style. And we've seen the tribesmen. Where is this going to come out? So I keep finding these little places where zones connect up to the new stuff. And this is one I have not been through yet. And I'm probably going to see stuff that is way too high level. Okay. Dangerous places. You have entered a part of the world with challenges and threats of much higher level than your own. Okay, that's actually something new. Don't think I've ever gotten that before, which is basically go this way and you gonna die. Yeah, because this here is a level 61 signature. He will absolutely eat my lunch. But, okay, so this comes into like the Gloom Glens. So normally when I come through this zone as I'm leveling, I'm coming from Aragian up here down through getting the Echidagaris stable and coming down south on my way to Dunland. This is coming in from the west. Okay, so that place is this. That's really cool. Now let me get out of here before I get murderized. But that also absolutely explains why we've been seeing things like those envoys from the various clans, because if we go into Enidwaith, all of these little areas here, like Lanark, Echidagaris, like all of these little areas are like clan strongholds or villages. And so obviously now that this road northwest up into Swanfleet is open, that's why we're seeing kind of those emissaries coming through into these low-level areas. It's actually really cool to see that they had that tie-in where they knew they were putting this with so many connectors to existing zones and the things going on there. And they planted that early with us meeting and talking to some of those people. So somebody at Standing Stone Games is really doing a heck of a job with this, I have to say. I was expecting to find more Uruks somewhere around here because they kept talking about Uruks, but no such luck. Which means I think I may take a detour. I think down almost due south of me is where I was finding all of those wargs in the warg den. Somewhere around this general area. Oh, I see something interesting up here. And I want to be killing some wargs because I want to do the Warg Slayer deed. I also want to know what this is. Because when you see like palisade walls and such, you've discovered Sharmokal. And I found Uruks to kill, so this is what I'm doing now. This is my life. They've got this cool little kind of cliff fortress area here. And you gotta have skulls on sticks with candles. Are these new Uruk models? They at least look textured better than a lot of the old ones. I think these are using the new updated character models for a lot of stuff. And I don't have my stun break yet, so I'm just gonna have to sit here for a minute. And this is where having my overpowered crit crafted armor comes in really handy. Could have been bad. These guys also are 3 levels lower than me. 3 levels lower than me, landscape content, and I'm wearing overpowered gear, so it is what it is. Keep myself from dragging the horse off the bar again. So it's almost complete with the first part of the Slayer deed. This is a nice little camp of them here. And this is also, whoa, hello, walkers. We'll see if we die or not. This is also where that increased draw distance really came into play, because in a lot of the old zones, I would not have been able to see this from where I actually saw this little camp running past. Without the better draw distance and better use of terrain, I would have passed this place straight up when I was heading back to town. Okay, so that completes part 1 of Uruk Slayer and gives me the advanced. Advanced is what I want, because that gives me Virtue XP to level my traits. Come on, warrior. There you go. Captain. And these guys are respawning at a pretty nice rate, which is good because I need 52 more. So tonight we grind. But this camp does have a nice little loop that looks like I can pretty much just continually make here around this area. Sneaky wandering captain. I don't know if I just whiffed on that one or didn't kill everybody in the first swing, but I don't know if I went up to this level last time. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do on this cycle is I'll see how many levels there are. Yeah, they've got nice little weapons of war here, so this is definitely not just a normal camp. They've got something planned, which does make sense with the story. And look at all those red dots. Oh, so here's another one of those treasure caches, which are now not the level 90 or above caches. Again, seeing that mechanic brought down into early game is really cool. And hello view. Wow. Kind of marred by the campfire smoke, but what can you do? So I don't think there's another vertical level here. I think this is the highest level. And this just curves back around to where I'd gone before. Okay, so I think I've found kind of all of the little nooks and crannies. So it doesn't make it a perfect loop if you go all the way up. But there are just so many of them to kill. This camp is great for doing this deed. Oh, what's back here? Other than orcs. Just a little nook. Betcha those guys were slacking off back here. Wonder if this is a little back way in or if it actually goes someplace. This looks like it heads back to the road back into Enidwaith. I don't think I can make it up. Maybe? Oh, yep. Do a little bit of that Skyrim all-terrain horse travel here. I just want to see if this does go all the way as a connector. Oh, yep, because there's that tower. And the road should be, yep, right down below. Interesting. So if for some reason I had come up here, I would have found the back road into the camp. This gives a nice little overhead view of the camp and all of its little palisade walls and where I've been killing those Uruks. I'm sorry in advance, poor horse. So inevitably, after I have finished being in here and killing all these guys for the deed, because I just mindlessly want to slaughter them, I'm betting that a quest is going to send me here to kill X number of Uruks and find out what's going on in this camp. I can pretty much already guarantee that I will be sent back here. Because this place is named and it has way too many of these guys not to be here for a reason. But 23 more Uruks and I'll have this all done. Which means this is 100% worth it. Come on. Aha. I go around the sane way when I can just hop over the fence. Okay, almost done. There we go. Now I can get the heck out of Dodge and go back to what I was planning. Okay, well, I'll kill this guy too because there's a chest right here. I can probably make it. Strategic use of touching walls on the way down to slow my fall. Okay, so that got me wit. Means next we're going to go into zeal. Or valor. We're going to do valor next. Because again, that's all of those secondary stats, which means that they're going to accumulate at a higher rate. Primary stats, you tend to get a lot of those on your gear. now we're gonna go rescue what's-her-name because her apprentices were not good and let her get captured. Or she got captured to get away from them. One of the two. She's gonna have to wait while we mine copper. And Uruk, you will live today because I don't need to kill anymore for the deed, so you get let off the hook. And it does expose a fundamental flaw in the system, I suppose.
We are all devotead in these lands.
Okay, you found some tracks, you have a bad feeling about it, and you've probably lost your friends. Of course. So I see some idiot cadet. Ooh. Okay, maybe not so much. Oh yeah, she was the one who was an idiot.
Curse these interruptions!
Okay, so we need to defeat a scout warrior.
Go
And
fight in my stead. They'll find Nurik unless you give them someone else to worry about.
alright, so basically I'm her distraction. Okay with this. My job here is to sow fear and chaos. Oh, that's a cool model. Yeah, they have definitely done some really good job. These typical mob types already had good models in like the Rise of Isengard, the Dunlending area in general. And they've just taken what they had there and added better textures, better shading, and just kind of raised the game on them. I'm impressed. And it's really cool to see them used in an area that's not, you know, Dunland and the Rise of Isengard stuff, because, man, by the time I get to that level range and think about doing that stuff again, I will find almost any alternate leveling path. I'm not sure this champ is actually going to make it into those zones. Alright. Hopefully at this point, the scout was able to slip in and do her job. Or I pissed him off enough that she's happy.
What?
Yep, I successfully annoyed
What
them.
do you ask of me?
And bought time while you were healing.
Darren went ahead to draw the bulk of them away, but we need you to split their forces even further.
Alright, so I do more chaos. Okay, so let's just untrack this so it stops getting in my way. Yep, my job is to sow more chaos and dissent. I'm okay with this. It's going to be lure and defeat one of their warriors. Looks like I'm going to be doing that up the road here. Meantime, I leveled. So now I get to start down deadly strikes, which means that when my strikes crit, they hit even harder. That is the key to Redline. It's crit a lot and crit hard. Okay, so here's my spot to, and I should pay attention when I level because put things in the places I'm used to using them. Bracing attack is awesome. This is a huge part of the champion's sustain, an attack that will heal me when I use it. It's on a cooldown and it only does so much, but it is really useful. I'll let this guy hit me for a few. Oh, I just have to share him to scare him. Unless one of the others. Yeah. Okay, so I need to lure out more of these guys. Let's see, do I blow the horn at the same spot, or do I blow it over where he was running? I think he was probably running to where his friends were, so let's see. Ah. I want to let this one do some damage to me. Alright, the problem is that these guys are 2 levels lower and I have 2 good gear, so we're just not gonna. But yeah, so bracing attack does a decent heal. Okay, in theory that should have been enough shock and awe tactics on my part. Let's go see how our friends fared. Hopefully at this point that means that the scout was able to get Aluna out scot-free, because I should be headed back to the village to meet. Right, we're back to their settlement, and hopefully she's back safe and sound. And at least one of her students proved that she's not a complete idiot. And I like the fact that I only see one of these scout warriors in training. The one who actually was good. And she has a follow-up. Don't think I'm gonna do this just because I'm already leveling quickly through here, so I'm probably gonna leave. crafting one. And ignore destination Breland for now. Okay, so I want to go back to Mossward, and I think there should be a stable master here.
Hello there.
Mossward. Just hoping I can get the book quest up to the point where it goes back from being green into at least teal, if not blue.
You bring interesting tidings.
Okay, so bring the swords inside the shop and have the blacksmith take a look at them. Kind of as we thought.
More Uruk blades? I didn't ask for these.
And all of these probably do the same, and I'm just going to sell it anyway.
Would you do something about Tegwin? He's been bothering me since this morning.
Alright, so the kid's being a pain, but he means well.
What can I do to help the village? Can I come with you?
Okay, he's way, way too enthusiastic. Alright, so it looks like I'm basically going to play babysitter as he patrols. Alright. It is way past cell 30. That old gear, so that just gets sold. And yes, I do completely realize the silliness of crafting it for it to last all of, I don't know, maybe wore it for an hour. It was useful. Interesting. So they have basically now purple quality versions of the really low-B potions. Still going to sell them because I do not have power issues as a champ at this level. Alright, that gives me some inventory space. Okay, go do the patrol to teach the kid how to patrol, and I'm guessing that's just going to kind of be, yep, all around outside. Boar tusks, crabben talons, and pick up whetstones along the road. At least the boars seem to pretty much all drop tusks as opposed to the always fun, well, killing something means it has a chance to drop what you need. All the Crevane went nice and quick. Go on to boards. And pointed rocks. And look, you're just hanging out way too close to the village, so you're gonna get killed. I killed him so quick and so hard, he didn't fall right away. Wolves and birds, but no boars. Ah. It's 5 of 8. Wondering what the rocks are gonna look like. Standing right by my copper, you're going to die. I am kind of amused that even these gray level 4 boars apparently count for the quest. Not that I want to make a habit of killing grays, but... Okay, so I bet the rocks are all... Yeah, the rocks are all around the south side of the road. It's funny because if they wanted real whetstones, like I could just open my shared storage and give them a bunch of different whetstones of different levels from my various stashed crafting materials, but apparently that'd probably be cheating. Like, I have real whetstones for you guys. You don't need me to pick rocks up off the street. I also wonder why these particular rocks are the ones they want, not just any old rock. Are they special because they come from the road? Alright, back to the shop. Yeah, and once again, gotta love that from out here, with the newer zones, you can see the town very clearly in the distance, not just like some spires or features. You can just straight up get a good look at it and orient yourself rather than having to use the map for everything. Ah, stuck in a bush. Why do I have the sneaking suspicion that the kid has gone off and gotten himself into trouble while I was doing this patrol? I don't see him in here anymore.
Thank you for these items.
Yeah, the boy's mother was just here, and she says he hasn't returned home. Yep. Troll was a diversion to get me to leave so the kid could disappear. I am stunned by this. Alright, search the perimeter of town. See where he might have gone patrolling. Footprints trample the earth here. Broke footprints. So yeah, that's really a sign. Oh, these footprints are old, most likely made during the original attack. Well, that's good at least.
Takeaway. He's missing.
It would not be the first time the boy's gone looking for trouble, so that says something.
You say the boy might have found Uruk tracks leading north?
Okay, so basically they're saying that he might have accidentally gone out into the Wade water. So head there, talk to the scouts, possibly the Dunlending village, which, of course, where I was before. Alright, let's see if we can find a missing kid. This keeps trying to send me over to... I'm just gonna unlock that. What's it gonna give me? Don't really care about the reward. So let's just keep following the main quest. That's good, because I've already got it into back up to being teal, at least, which means I'm catching up. So I want to head to the Wade water, which means that rather than following the road, we're going to go overland, because where we're going, we don't need roads. Oh, it might have been a good idea, because foliage is taller than I am. I really don't think they took hobbits into account when they grew the foliage around here. I'm just saying. Okay, bandits. Gonna pass by them. How far out is it? Oh, I just haven't even gotten to the road yet. Because I'm an idiot. See, if I'd gone the same way around rather than my overland route, I would have gone all the way around this mountain range and been able to use the road. Turnoff should be up ahead here, if I remember right. So they apparently want me to go all the way to the village proper and talk. Not the village I was at before. Did I just make a complete circle? Yep, this is the same place. I just went completely backwards. And of course the rangered his way here before I'm really hoping that we can get like his coat and cloak as an outfit, because that is highly styling.
I heard Tegwin has gone missing.
Okay, he's more worried about the Avanks than the Uruks for the kid, which is probably actually true, to be honest. Should just be all around here. Can I make it over? Running start. Ha. For everybody who was watching Cord's stream earlier today, gotcha. Turtle. Come on, there's gonna be a box here someplace. Oh. Whoa. I was paying attention. This is not a very deep river, because I'm out in the middle of it as a hobbit, and I'm still head above water. And this embedded slimy tooth, these low-level ones don't do too bad. It's 55 damage every 3 seconds for 30 seconds, but later in the game, in the higher level zones and some of the nastier versions of Avanks, that damage over time is just punishing on characters that don't have any good gear, particularly. I am not ashamed to admit that I've had a couple of Avanks gang up on me and kill me just from that bleed. Yeah, that heron is way too interested in following me. There's an Avank. And that looks like another one. No, that's a turtle. I was mistaken. There we go. God, I just love the new water in some of these zones with a better texture underneath it. It just looks so good. Right, go tell Manildir that I killed some Avanks, so hopefully that helps keep the kids safe. And inevitably, while I was out doing this, the kid has probably come back to town and found. I don't think I've killed sickle flies in this zone. I wonder if there is a Slayer deed hidden. Nope. I guess there really just is 3 Slayer deeds in Swanfleet. Why are all of these guys here? That has to not be on purpose. Like they're all just kind of crowded into field in the town. Just a whole bunch of various river mobs just in the field. No big deal, hanging out. You've got all the trainers and various town amenities, and then you have your monsters. Makes perfect sense. All right, Manildir, where did you go? You went all the way out here, didn't you? In the middle of the Wade water. Okay, yep. So he went out looking for the kid in the other direction. Why do I get the feeling I was sent to do busy work? I have discovered Fang Settle. That's cozy sounding. And here's a bunch of Avonks. So this is maybe the way I was intended. Oh, and nests even. This is maybe the way I was intended to go, which would make sense from a whole, like, hey, the kid's in danger, there's Avonks around, and he went this way, I went this way. But nope, I had to go the stupid way. And you're here hiding and being all stealthy like.
No sign of Tegwin. I have seen nothing either.
Okay, so let's listen for the sound of the boy, which I can't do when mounted. And I have a loud horse. Nope.
Nothing. Let us continue our search.
Right, so we go further west and search down this way. My guess is this is probably going to be one of those ones where we're going to listen in several spots, or maybe look and listen. Again, so many of the little design things from not only this zone, but how they're structuring some of these things. Definitely shades of Dunland and Rise of Isengard. Far enough west? Oh. Abandoned wooden sword. That's a good sign.
This does seem to be Tegwin's sword.
Alright, listen again, see if we hear him. Here's someone calling to the northwest. Okay, so across the water. Apparently my hobbit ears are really good to hear from this far away. But sound does carry across water, etc., etc. Vonk. Yo, Smarty might have holed up around here. Yep.
I'm here. I'm here.
Your adventuring lessons were not complete. You didn't mention how cold and damp it would be or how often things would try to kill me. I mean, welcome to adventuring, kid. Welcome to adventuring. Okay, so this is intended to be the weapon upgrade choice. Wonder if any of these have a cool model. Okay, kind of generic two-handed sword. Don't really like the blade on it. Oh, actually, I don't have a bow yet, so this will just let me take a ranged weapon slot.
You would have been very proud of me. I'm certain of it.
I hid in the brush and didn't move an inch, and a scouting party of orcs came within a dozen feet. Good job, kid. Don't make yourself a target. Alright, so I'm going to go tell Manildir that and Manildir's caught up with us. Put the bow before I forget, but we're going to go ahead and turn off displaying that so it doesn't look silly.
The old elf city. That must be Karas Galebrin.
Okay, so saying that the Uruks were headed towards Karas Galedrin. So that was... Okay. So we're going to find the camp of his buddy who seems like is in the path of these. That is up at Karas Galedrin, which means we need to go past the town we were just in and keep heading up that road. I don't know if I actually unlocked that travel point or not, so we're just going to overland it to the marsh. Apologize to the horse. I think I can catch the road if I head this way around the hills rather than going the silly way I did to get here. This will probably end up being better because, yeah, I can curve around, catch the road, and take it over. So a little bit less direct, but that'll actually be good. Is that the Warg Den up there? Where the scout trainees were fighting? So I still want to find more wargs to kill. Let's see, that was... I think that was over here towards Blood Hollow, so I think I am way too way too far away for that to be it. Yep, those are just hills. Alright, here's the road. So I should take the road and stop getting distracted by things. Random passerby. Always wave to be nice. So yeah, I just kind of have to keep going past the turnoff where I turned off last time. So this is a level 140 hunter with a pretty swanky outfit. Gotta give him points for that. Yeah, the Uruk is not going to catch me. I should have taken a turn off and kept going, I just did not. So it looks like this takes us into kind of the lowland water area that I could see from the hill when I was looking down into it before. Interesting. Foreshadowing the use of the zone. I guess this is the road fording the river here and keeping going. This is a cool kind of semi-swampy zone here, semi-marshy. Not proper swamp, but all the mist and shallow water and the little kind of islands and channels and stuff is neat. Ah, so that's got to be the city he was talking about, or the ruins of it, rather. Yeah, his buddy has a pretty swanky little campsite here. Where do you camp out? Oh, you know, the ruins of some old elf city. No big deal. There we go. And let's see. Is there a stable master here?
Hello there.
You say you bring word from Manildir.
Okay, they've already been watching the Oryx move for several days. And he encourages me to climb up to the vantage point and look for something they might not have seen. So let's see what other... Okay, here we go. Here's some...
For quite some time.
Here's some good quests by level. Kill some wargs, which I want to do anyway.
Many are the wounds of war that scar these lands.
Beat foes in their area.
Even so far from the lands of the enemy, there is dread upon my heart.
Find some landscape points.
Well, Matt, are you heading west?
Interesting that the quests here have been ranging from level 10 to level 15. Since I'm going to be around here, I may as well pick them up. Yeah, we're not going to take a level 8
Will you lend me your
or a
ear?
level 8. So yeah, these range from level 8 to level 15. This little quest hub and area. Okay, so we have some stuff to the south and then some stuff due north. Due north, I believe, was sending... Oh, no, that is southeast. So, where were they sending me for wargs? Invading wargs. That is the White Hand's approach. North across the river. Alright. I already knew I wanted to kill wargs, so I'm gonna put the main quest on pause. Go do this quest so that we can also do. Okay, we are north of the river. There's level 12. Meandering Holly, signatures, let's see. Nope, no deed or anything particularly interesting, just typical Huorn type mobs. Ah, so a nice big hill up here. Probably some rocks up. Yep. Rock outcropping up top there. Betting that's where I'm going to find wargs. Holly trolls are usually annoying because a lot of these guys have knockbacks. Always a thing to watch out for with the troll mobs is they love to either throw things or do knockbacks. Alright, hopefully gonna find a good number of wargs around here. So I'm hoping to just get enough to make progress on the warg killing deed, and not just the quest. We'll see how thick the wargs are on the ground. First worm type enemy. These are the kind of like pseudo-dragony guys. This rocky area up here looks more like where I'd normally find wargs, but I don't see any. Yeah, I guess most of them must just be hanging out by the trolls. Well, yep, there's that troll knockback. Thought I saw a warg moving around. Oh, no, that's a player. And he's killing wargs. Which is really unfortunate. You do see this from high-level players when they need to come into a zone and do deeds to get advancements and what have you. Is that sometimes they're killing mobs that low-level players also need, which is something I actually ran into when I was doing deeds on on one of my higher level characters earlier today, as I was out killing some specific enemies and ran across a much lower level character who came into the area and started killing the same mobs, and I was nice and sent them a tell asking if they were here killing the mobs for a quest or for deeds or something, and when they said yeah they were, I said cool, they're all yours, happy hunting. You know, actually having etiquette and such. But Beerhoven apparently is not going to have that same. So this might not be my best warg hunting area past the quest. He's doing it for the deed. Or he also could be here doing the Swanhaven quests because they're new, and so he's just doing the general questing storyline on his character. It's always a possibility. But regardless, it's polite to let the low levels have the zone. When you're in here as a high level and everything is gray by 100 plus levels. So I don't think this is going to be a good warg hunting ground anyway. They just do not seem to be thick on the ground. And I've got my 6 killed, so back across the water it is for me after I kill this one. How far am I from... Okay, that's... That might have to be a next time thing of finishing up that Slayer deed, because really what I want to get tonight is just level 15. This quest and one or two more ought to get me there. Another earring. Don't really care about the fate, but it does give me some crit rating, and this also gives me vitality and finesse. Yes, please. Okay, there you go. Villager wargs. These are no ordinary wargs. Okay, go northeast to Idhabol. Somebody else who's been keeping an eye on wargs in the area. Oh, that's all the way up here. That's actually not bad, because that would give me another travel point unlocked for when I need to go there. So I think I'm just going to make that run. Oh. Or we'll just do the kill a certain number of foes in the area. Best. Because I only need to kill 10 of them. I may as well do this before I leave the immediate area. The whole mix of baddies hanging around here. Oh, and apparently I'm just running into quest objectives. Oh, so apparently elves killed these guys. And probably the elf that killed them is calling to me. Yeah, that is definitely not one of the old elf models. That is really styling.
Those are my arrows. Return them to me and I can slay more Uruks.
Fucking elves. Okay, but it'll give me jewelry, so I'm cool with it.
I am pleased to see we share a purpose. Or at least we have our hatred of orc kind in common.
You are such an elf. Okay. 8 Uruks within the area. Yep. So she's going to be very much an elf, but she'll at least be down with me killing orcs. So. Oh, and here's another one. So they're definitely keeping watch on their old turf here. And there's level 15. So that was my real goal for tonight. I want to just finish up this quest here. All these Uruks should be 2-4s for the quest for the guys inside as well as the elf. That'll be good. Definitely, if I'd known this place was here, I might not have spent so much time in the other the other Orc fort. But whatever. You guys are still really good hunting. And there are just so many of these chests around here. Most of them have garbage, but it's a few coins and some crafting mats, which doesn't suck. See, read the Uruk report from the last killed Uruk. It's in Black Speech, so can't really read that, but okay, so I'm gonna go give the fort to the Knife Ears, turn in the other quest. Man, they definitely have an Uruk problem up here. Figure I may as well kill a few extra because, well, killing Uruks is never a bad thing.
Slaying Uruks may be its own reward, but finding a clue to their purpose here is even better.
It gives me no joy to read the Black Speech, but it is much worse to speak than it is to read. Okay, so their Uruks here are scouting forges of for elvish jewel craft, looking for lore because the elves made rings there. Okay, yeah, so that's not foreboding at all.
The elves of Eregion were deceived before by gifts and promises of secret knowledge.
Okay, so she wants me to go back to the city above and dig through a bunch of stuff. Some good rewards, but we are going to accept the quest and do that probably next time. We are going to go back to camp here, talk to what's his name and tell him that we scouted climb up above and found more than just orcs.
Even so far from the lands of the enemy.
Yep, there's all my killing.
My heart.
Okay. Oh. No, apparently we're not, because that one quest just led right into the other. I was not looking when that changed. So the book quest turned into helping the elf. Got it. Okay. That's actually a nice little quest flow. I just thought it was going to send me back here to tell him what I found, but nope, we're taking orders from the elf now.
Friend.
Okay, so let's see. One last thing I want to do tonight, and that is going to be easiest from Mossword first. I think that's better than... nope, my helm is definitely better than that. See, empty my mail. Oh, yep, my level 15 is the first class quest, A Pressing Matter, which are pretty much always worth doing because that will give me a pretty decent quest reward. I'm not sure if it'll be better than what I've been crafting for myself, but also will give me a title. All right, so we're going to Bree because that's where I was going to go anyway. So we are riding into Bree Town, which seriously is still one of my favorite towns, even though they've put a whole bunch more into the game. Bree is still absolutely my favorite hub. And on Landy, usually there's enough people here that you actually have to wait for things to load in. And I'm going to swing past the Prancing Pony because I want to see if there's still a concert happening. Usually is in the evening. Might have died down by now. Nope, it's actually picked up. This is seriously one of my favorite things about this game, is that this is a thing people do routinely with their time. And Landroval has many active bands. Alright, but that is not what we're here for, as fun as it is. I'm gonna leave this, because what you can do when you get to level 15 is kind of by the town hall. Actually inside the town hall, but not all the way to the mayor. There is another NPC of note. So inside the Bree Town Hall, right down here is the notary, where you can set your surname. So for 10 silver, because I was being silly with this character, I am now stands in the fire. And that's going to do it for this stream. Got pretty much what I wanted done. Oh, I have to stop forgetting to spend my trait points. Idle waited, stands in the fire. All right, that is going to do it. Probably next time around for this character, the plan is going to be head back to... no, I'll stay here. The plan will be do my champion level 15 quest, get the reward for that, then head back to Mossword and do... keep moving on the book 1 chapter 6, as well as go and get this travel point here that came from that Warg Pelt quest.